guys, we're going to start. So thank you for coming to our workshop. Today will be on web design. It's one of our skills that we won't teach you workshop stream. So today we have what we can do. What we is a communications and marketing student at EWA. Master's student, yeah. I think he's also part of the Bloom team, the marketing.
Cool. Hey guys. Alright, so before we start, we just want to acknowledge that today is World Suicide Prevention Day and our UK Day. So is everyone okay? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we just think it's important to show everyone the power of conversation and encourage to thank inspiring us. Everyone's okay?
So firstly, my name's Luke, and Topic, and we're both marketing officers at St. Catherine's College, so we do all the marketing here. Topic also works well.
Yeah. So we manage the whole of college marketing initiatives, including strategic planning, but we also do a fair bit of design work for St. Cat's. And one of our biggest projects to date is to completely redo the college website. So previously we had an external web agency come and design and build the St. Catherine's website.
Pretty outdated, and it costs us a lot of money because every time you wanted to update something, for example, they charge you like $100 or $150, $200 just to change a banner photo, for example. And it made it really hard for us to log into the back end of the website for us to make changes. So that's why we sort of thought, okay, we need something new.
So they weren't really responsive to our needs, and that's when we felt that we should be doing something in-house so that we can manage the website ourselves. But we have no technical skills, and we have completely no skills in coding.
We don't code.
Yeah.
And that's what we assume you guys have. So we're going to show you how to do a really simple website and something easy to set up.
With no technical skills, with no coding. So this is the end result, the St. Catherine's website. We ended up with a mobile-friendly, modern website that was completed in about 2 months with all of the features that we needed. So we have guest accommodation here.
So you can book your hotel rooms on the website, and it all connects with our accounting software at the hotel, at the college. It's more than just a simple website, so it's quite complex because there's a lot of things that go into it. That's why we took so much time to make this particular one. But today we're going to show you how to make something quite simple
and easy, quite quickly. Yeah. So this is the outline for the presentation for today. We'll go through some user cases and the traditional web development process.
So usually you start with your domain, and then you look at the hosting, then you go onto the design and the content of the website.
And then we'll talk about the Squarespace, which is the
it's what we've used for St. Catherine's, and it's what we thought would be good for a demo to show you guys how to start.
And then we'll run through some resources, and then we'll do a Q&A at the end.
And if you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to interrupt. What an app to help.
Right, so does anyone have any idea about what sort of websites do you want to develop? Is it like a personal website? Is it a single page website?
Is it for business you guys are setting up, or what would you guys use it for? Or are you just curious? Yeah?
I'm doing marketing as well, and I'm rebranding my dance, which is a yoga school.
Okay.
So I want to set up a yoga page.
Okay, awesome, that's cool. Anybody else? Right, yeah.
Right, so traditionally you'd have about 4, these are like 4 generic use cases for websites. So you might want to have a landing page, so there's just a single page website with no links to any.
Some do that for their personal website, for example, and they have their own little page with a CV, for example, and links to their social media, for example. Yep. I'll show you an example.
And then you also have an informational multi-page website. So you have a more in-depth website. You have a page for a blog, right? Blog media, contact page, and then you might have a website for a business. You might have an e-commerce store within your website, sort of stuff. And then you could have a website that is a web application in itself. So an example would be like a lead generator, for example. So that website is an app in itself.
So we'll start off with domain. So do you guys know what a domain is? It's pretty basic. It's whateveryourname.com or like bloom.org.au.
Yeah, so a domain name is basically like it's not a space, but it's the site that points to your web address. And have really unique domain names nowadays because
they've opened up. So what they say is there's enough .coms left, so they've opened up so you can get stcats.college, for example. You can get someone's name .photography. So I've got a friend who's doing photography and she's trying to get her name .photography. They're a bit more expensive than the traditional ones, but they're quite varied now. So there's quite a bit of
variation on the website. And you can really make it really unique. You can have your name.me, you have something like business.
You can get .business, yeah.
Yeah, so just try and find that appropriate suffix for the website you're trying to develop for. So if it's a business, like that yoga studio business, you could have your name.yoga maybe for your domain name.
You can actually have yoga.
How do I find out?
You can go on a domain, like on a website where you buy the domains. So for example, you can go on godaddy.com and then that's where you can buy the domains. The .yogas and the .college and all the .business, they're not available yet, so you have to, what's the word? You have to
bid for that address.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can't get them straight away.
And another part of developing a website you can think of is hosting as well. So hosting is actually buying a server space
Where your website will be saved, basically, in a nutshell. If you're doing a website for your yoga business, for example, people accessing the website would be in Australia, so you'd probably want to host it in Australia. So you'd want to host it where people would be accessing the website to make it quicker to load.
GoDaddy's in America, aren't they? Like they do hosting as well.
They'd be hosting as well, yeah.
But
Yep.
do you have any recommendations?
For the Australian one.
So the one that we're sort of recommending, Squarespace, they have multiple servers around the world. So they'll try and load the website closer to where the user is actually loading the website from.
Because that makes it faster, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that sort of reduces the wait time and it just makes your web experience for your user a lot easier. It gets more pleasant because everything just loads faster. And another thing to think about as well, posting is that you think about storage as well.
Yes, for example, my friend is doing photography. She adds a lot of high resolution photos to her website, and that takes a lot of space. That's a lot of gigabytes. So just make sure you choose a plan for hostage that's adapted to your needs. So usually it's a small website that you guys probably be doing is pretty small. Like even the St. Catherine's College website, that's pretty small. It doesn't take much space for storage. So just make sure you choose a plan that suits you.
And the next part of the web development process is the design work. So the hard and fast rule is to just keep it simple. Don't put paragraphs of text. Or
no text. People don't like text. Keep it simple.
Don't put huge images on the website as well. And a responsive design is a must. So nowadays, a lot of people access their websites through tablets or your mobile phones. So making sure that your websites are mobile friendly out of the box is a must. And also the little details like the favicon, which is the little icon that appears next to your address bar on your web browser. And
Just
also
little details. And make sure you update it every time. Like if I visit a website and I visit a month later, I'd like to see some extra new information, something fresh. Like I can see, oh, that's been changed. That's good. So make sure you don't just create a website and just keep it there for 5 years. Make sure you put new content on, you refresh it up every once in a while.
Yep. Yeah, that brings us to content. So make sure you plan your content here. So before you even go and get started on creating your website, make sure that you have a sitemap.
Sitemap, yeah. One of the things we did for St. Catherine's website, we just took a massive piece of paper and we just drew what we wanted the structure of the website to look at.
And how those web pages link to the different pages on the site. So you have a home page and then you go down to like about or content and the rest of
hotel rooms, and then we had in the hotel rooms we had different sections.
Yeah. So make sure you really plan out the structure of the site beforehand before you can get started with working on the website. And then you can even get started on the actual content that you want to have on the website. So making sure that you sort of have that content and that sort of informs your design and how that fits in with how it looks and the layout of the site and all that kind of stuff.
So I feel like I'm asking really good.
No, go ahead.
Did you look at the templates first, like website templates first, then do the whole design, or did you just go from scratch and go, okay, we want this exactly?
We looked at the sitemap first. We said we wanted a page with this. Underneath it, we wanted it to link to this page, for example. Like that's how we structured it. So on the website, we've got the hotel rooms, guest accommodation, we've got a section for seminars. That's how we thought of it, and then we looked at the template after.
Okay.
And the service that we're going to show you with this Squarespace is really really flexible, really fluid, so you can really mix and match.
I've heard WordPress, but I haven't ever actually used it, but it seems like they have pretty set templates and can't really mold around so much. So that's why I'm a bit confused.
It depends which service you use. Like you'll always be able to customize it to a certain extent, but how much, that just depends on what you use. And it just depends on which template you use also in WordPress. There's thousands of templates out there. It just depends how they're built. So while we're talking about Squarespace today, because we've used it, we sort of know how to use it. And for students, it's quite a good deal. You get a 50% off on your first year, and it's quite cheap anyway.
Yeah, it starts from, I think they have 3 different plans. So there's a personal plan and then a business and a commerce plan if you want to run a store on your website. But the cheapest plan starts from $8, and that's before the 50% off discount, so it's really, really cheap. And you also get a free domain for the first year that you sign up with.
Yeah, so it does everything. It does hosting for you, it manages your domains, you can do all the design on it. It's really simple, it's all in one. So that's what we want to make it really simple for you guys. So it's everything together. So you'll sign up once, you won't have to sign up and buy a domain on one website, host it somewhere else. It's all together in one spot.
So the 4 steps we mentioned just now, the domain, hosting, design, and content, that's more like how you create a website traditionally. But with Squarespace, everything's sort of a hosted solution in one, so you don't have to really think about domains or hosting, things like that.
So what happens if you already have a domain? You want to like revamp something?
You can easily transfer your domain into Squarespace, so you can just hook that up, and then Squarespace will start using that domain.
Oh yeah.
So if you have a domain elsewhere, or if you buy a domain elsewhere, not through Squarespace, you can just use it and get it as well. And then you can also get email as well. So if you have a domain, let's say my domain is taufik.me, so you can have email at taufik.me run through Squarespace as well, connected through Google Apps.
Cool, so we'll go on to the demo.
Has anyone ever heard of Squarespace before? Have anyone of you used Squarespace?
Where have you heard about it?
Me for my brother. So.
Oh, okay.
Right, so this is the sort of back end of what Squarespace looks like. So this is a live preview of the site. This is for the St. Catherine's College, so this is what the St. Catherine's College website back end looks like. And then on this side you have all of your admin options. You have your pages, your design, commerce, metrics, comments, settings, stuff. So everything's really set up really nicely and really straightforwardly as well. It's not really that confusing.
It's extremely easy to edit stuff. Do you want to show them how to edit something through them?
Yeah, so let's say if you scroll around to the different text boxes, it comes up with this sort of pop-up box, and you can just click on, let's say, this one.
It's as easy as that says that you take.
So you can just
Drag and drop your
type it
photos.
in, and you can change your the style and the font, the alignments and things like that. And you just click save, and then it's published live immediately. So it's really, really easy.
We're not going to say that.
Cool. So let's have a look at cover pages. So one of the user cases that we talked about just now is that one single page with your resume and your social media links. So I have an example here. So that's an example of my website. That's just a single
One
page.
static page.
So it's not linked to any. There's no like hierarchical structure to that website. So it's just that one page with a button to my email and resume and my social media links at the bottom. So with Squarespace, it's really easy to set up your own cover page. So we've just set up an account. So this is what it looks like. So once you've set up an account in Squarespace, if you want to create a single page with
Just a static page, like for example for your resume, like cover did. It's pretty simple.
So you just click on the plus button, and then you click on cover page. So let's say, yeah, that's your one page setup. So you can actually change the layout and the templates, and you've got buttons down here as well. So let's say live. So all you need to do is click on branding and text, and student of yeah, so it's just that simple. So you just type your text in, and then click save, and then it's published live. You go back, and then you can also add imagery. But it's really easy, so it's drag and drop. Let's do this since it's Are You Okay Day. So that's just an example. So it just uploads and it's live straight away. And you can also, there's a web-based photo editor that's attached to Squarespace.
So you can crop it, add filters, anything you want. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, you've got all the tools up there. So you've got crop, resize, enhance, brightness, things like that. So you can do it all within Squarespace. And then we can also add buttons. So let's do email.
Yeah, why not?
And there you go, you've got your email button there. So when you click on it, it goes straight to your email. It's really quick, it's really fast.
That didn't even take an hour.
Yeah, and you've got a website already. And also you can change your style settings, so like colors and fonts. And it's really in-depth as well, so there's a lot of options that you can play around with. Say you want border, just color.
And that will all depend on which template you use, obviously. All the settings will be different for all the templates.
Or you can just click on there and then it comes up with the relevant setting that adjusts that particular style for just that sort of block of text. So let's change the font. And there you go, and that's your one page online, freaking easy. It's Squarespace.
Obviously, some of you probably want to make something more complicated, so we can show you how to link different pages in together now.
Yeah, so one of the first things when you want to create a multi-page site is the template specifically. So if you go into the design tab, and then you click on template, so you come and you click on install new template.
Sorry, just a question. There's one at the top there. It says .squarespace.com. Does that mean for your St. Catherine's College one you have that still? Because you're
No, this is just because we on the back end, if you want to access the back end, yes, you can stcats.squarespace.com. This one's just an example. We haven't actually bought a domain for the purpose of this example, so that's why it
So
says
if you
it.
buy the domain, then you don't have to have Squarespace.
Yeah, no. So then if you have multiple domains, you can choose a primary domain. So that becomes your primary domain. And then whatever .squarespace.com, whatever you sign up with, that still points to your website, but that's not the primary means of accessing the website.
So you can type it in without having the Squarespace.
Yeah, yeah.
You can find it.
Yeah. Right, so you have a ton of templates on Squarespace, and they're all sort of categorized as well for businesses, for portfolios, for stores, personal websites, musicians. So let's say we do
Through
business.
business, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've reselected one, so we've selected brand. So let's go back to home pages, and that's the home page. So that's what it looks like right now. So it pre-populates the content for you, so it has sort of like a layout structure done already for you. And all you really need to do is just click on edit and then start typing your text in, or start copying and pasting your text in. So this is where the content comes in handy if you have it ready beforehand, so that you can completely change the layout as well. So if you go on, let's say, edit. So these little handlebars that come up, if you click on them, and then this pop-up window comes up, and you can add an image, you can add a gallery, you can add a form, a button, social media links as well, so you can really change it. Let's say if you don't like this gallery, you can just delete the block. That's fun. You can add something else.
And a form.
A form. So
It's making contact with you.
yeah. And it also has all of that pre-built in with so his name, email address, subject, message, or you can add more as well. So let's do a checkbox maybe.
That form will go directly to your email, or
So you can set it to go to email, you can set it to go to Google Docs, which is what we use. And it can go to MailChimp also. One of the things that's really nice with Squarespace is that if you guys use MailChimp, MailChimp is some online software to use to make newsletters. So it all connects together, which is really useful.
So click on the storage tab at the top, just over there. So you can have it sent to your email, or if you don't want that, just click on Close and then connect to Google Docs, and it'll come up with the login with your email address, and it'll connect it to it's on private account, but yeah. So you can just easily connect it to a third-party service as well. And all of the forms will be stored in a spreadsheet with the the details and maybe sort of pop in and have the details and all that. Yeah. So everything's automatically organized for you. And then you have advanced sort of settings as well with like the button alignment, gene color as well under the style editor. So it's really, really flexible. So we've covered adding content. Let's go into the style editor. So the style editor is really where you can go and change the entire look and feel of your website. So just like how we did the change the colors for the cover page, you can do it for an entire site as well. So you can just make it transparent.
Colours in RGB, and can you like just type in the code for the RGB?
Yeah. So if you know the code, you just type it in. It's white. You can even set the transparency as well, so that's what the alpha slider is. So you can change the transparency of the buttons. Yeah, so you can see from the number of options, it's really, really customizable. And if you click on the little tabs up the top,
It gives you a preview of what it looks like on a mobile.
so this is what it looks like on a tablet, and then that's what it looks like on a mobile phone. So it's mobile friendly out of the box already, so you don't have to worry about making a responsive website.
And it'll read out the menu. So if you look at the menu bar at the top there, so if it's a smaller screen, it will all add it in a little tab on the side.
Inside.
Yeah, sure. Show us that. What do you want to say?
How to set up a store.
Oh, it's pretty easy to set up a store. So one of the things we use the website for is to sell stuff. So we sell tickets, for example, to events, or we sell jumpers on them. So one of the things you'll need if you want people to pay on the website, you'll need a payment gateway. So that's like PayPal. PayPal will process the payment for you. We use Stripe. Do you want to show? Oh, Stripe.
Yeah, so that's chat there. I think the recommended service that Squarespace links to is Stripe.
Stripe is cheaper too, so all those payment gateways, they'll take a percentage of what you've received through the website. So Stripe, I think is it 1.75, but if you email email them, you can get it knocked down. We got it knocked down to 1.4%. So just email them and ask, oh, hello.
Like you're a startup business, and you really need to lower down your overhead costs. So can you like reduce the it's called the transaction fees,
Processing fees.
the processing fees. Yeah. So once you have Stripe, and it's free to sign up for Stripe as well, so you don't pay. It's not a subscription-based service. You just sign up for an account, and
once you start receiving payments, whenever that is, it'll just start taking a.
So you just connect it to the bank, and then whatever payments just goes to the bank straight away. And then you connect that through to Stripe, and then you have your store set up just like that. And then from there you can go into inventory.
You can add some products that you want to sell.
So we had like our hoodies that we sold. Was it last month?
Last month. Yep.
Yeah. So that's an example of one of our products that we sold through our new website. Yep. So in this box, you can add an image for all of the things that you're selling, and then you can add pricing and variants as well. So we had two different chocolate colors. We had blue and pink, and then we had multiple sizes from those categories as well. So it's really customizable.
And it'll manage your stock too, so you'll put in exactly how many of each you have, and then it will stop selling once you're out of stock.
And then you can add like more information, like a sizing chart, for example.
And it will do all the emailing for you too. So when someone buys something, it'll send a receipt to their email. It'll say, you can, if you want to post it, you can do all the tracking information. So you can put all your little links.
And you can also ask for more specific information if you need, like, for example, when we sold the hoodie, we needed to know
Their room number, for example, at the college so that we can deliver them. So you can, when people buy stuff, you can ask for extra information. It's pretty flexible.
And then with the commerce feature in Squarespace as well, you can do donations. So
that's one of the things we want to do in the future with our website is to receive philanthropic donations. So it allows you to do that too, but it will also go through the payment gateway. So you'll also have to pay the percentage of those.
And then, so that's where you set up your shipping options. So for us, because we're only selling it to residents, so the pickup option is the only option basically. But you can set it up with different couriers as well if you're using that to sell products. And then they even print off shipping labels, I think. They can stick off, and then just attach the code in, and then Squarespace will automatically send a fulfillment order. So the customer will receive an email with the tracking ID and all the information that you need in the box. So it's really.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical product. It can be you selling maybe yoga class. You can say, oh, from this session from this time to this time, you pay on the website here, and it will send you a receipt. And it can be as simple as that.
Yeah. So when you're adding a product, it doesn't have to be a physical product. It can be a service as well. So that will come handy with your the website. So it can be a service, physical product, or
like going to the form of all tickets.
Yeah, and tickets, event tickets. Yeah. So those are the three main categories. But you can also play around with them and see what works best for you.
The other third-party app that you mentioned was Xero with an X. What is that?
Xero. That's the accounting software. So what? I don't know if your yoga business uses it. A lot of businesses are starting to use Xero. At the college we use Xero, so all the sales done through the website will go directly to the accounting software. So that just saves time for all the accountants that have less work to do. Instead of entering them manually, it will just all go straight into it.
And then you can also do seasonal coupons. So you just add a coupon in, and then people can just type in the promotional code, and then that will be added directly into their cart. So commerce really works out of the box with Squarespace. You don't really need to use a third party apart from Stripe, and that's free to sign up as well. So that's about it basically, and just connect the two, and it just works.
It's pretty simple.
Metrics. Okay.
Yeah.
So
so once you've got all your website up and going, you probably want to measure everything to do with metrics. So who's visiting your website, where they're visiting from, what they're clicking on. So one of the things you can do is look at all the metrics.
So Squarespace is really comprehensive metrics as well, built out of the box. So you don't even have to sign up for an external service. although we do recommend signing up with Google Analytics. We can unpack that before.
Should we show that? It's way more powerful. You get way more options.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so the fact is that you do actually get metrics out of the box. So even if you don't use Google Analytics, you still get an overview of the number of visits that you get, page views, and where they're coming from. Mobile usage as well. So you get some really interesting graphs as well to show the success of your website.
One of the examples where we use the metrics for is we, for example, looked at what the most visited pages were on the website. So we saw that booking a room for our hotel style rooms was higher, was viewed more than our conference rooms, for example. So we just adapted the website so that book a room was more in your face, and like when you went on it, it was in front of you, and the conferencing is a bit lower. So with looking at all the metrics, you'll be able to adapt your website accordingly.
Sorry, the internet is a bit. So the last two things that we want to show you on Squarespace is domains as well. So we mentioned just now that when you sign up for Squarespace for the first time, you get your first year, you get a domain for free for your first year.
Domains are pretty cheap anyway. We bought some on Tuesday and we got one for 99 cents US. It was a .com, so they're pretty cheap. So if there's
Is that per year?
yeah, it's a yearly
It's an
payment,
annual
yeah.
payment, yeah.
But obviously that was a sale. But they usually you can get them for quite cheap.
And you can also pay them for like 2 or 3 years in advance as well. So you don't have to worry about renewing your domains every year. So when you sign up for Squarespace, you get the squarespace.com domain included. But then to get your own custom domain, all you need to do is click get a domain and search for the domain. Maybe.
Do you guys have much about the .orgs? You can get those.
Yeah, so you can get it over there. Lucrative.org, and it's free, so you just literally click add, and then you have your own domain.
It's free,
included.
meaning it's available. It's not.
So you don't have to worry about getting a domain from another site, although you could if you want, but you can just get it through Squarespace as well. So there's a ton of options. They've got .com, .org, .net, info, all the regular stuff, and then they've got .space, website, club, work, .xyz, photography, live.
There's hundreds of
rocks.
stuff.
Yeah, some of them are really weird. Air Force, actor maybe, attorney, beer.
Let's get that one.
Yeah, so lots of really cool
As you
stuff
can see,
domains.
they vary in price too. So the dot with the longer names, the more specific ones like the bike or the black or blue, they're more expensive.
But again, it's a yearly charge, so you're not paying a monthly.
Why is it that they're more expensive?
It's just because they're new and there's like that novelty.
They're
there.
not.
Yeah. But I think eventually the prices will just go down now, so be on par with .com. Yeah, and they're slowly increasing more and more of the custom services. So I think they're going to introduce .college. So we're going to try and get .college or .college sometime soon when that launches again at the end.
Sorry, this is a real abstract question. Who decides what's allowed?
There is someone.
I have no idea.
But the internet allows. So they sort of decide and they sort of slowly release all the domains. Again, it's really easy on Squarespace to just get a domain for free. And then lastly, you can also get your own custom email. So all you do is click on the email tab, and then that connects through Google Apps. So you can get, but that's an additional charge because it's not run through Squarespace. But then it uses the same domain that you bought or the domains that you owned and connect it through Squarespace. So it's about $50 a year, and you get not only email, but you get the cloud storage. So you get Drive, Docs, and all the other Google apps as well that are all tied into your own custom domain. So that's a quick tour and overview Squarespace. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, can you show us the accounting part?
Sorry?
The accounting,
The zero.
yeah?
We don't have access to zero, but we can show you in Squarespace how we connect it.
Okay.
We'll be in connect with account.
No, it's not finished.
Oh, go into no, it's in Stripe.
Stripe. Was there a particular need that you needed to connect to Zero? Are you using Zero right now?
No, I'm just curious how it works.
So, where would you go? Oh, it's on there.
Oh no, we connected it in checkpoint.
There's a checkpoint next to Zero.
Yeah.
So basically Zero is like the accounting software that our accountants use. But because we're going through Stripe, so Stripe connects to Zero, so that's sort of how
We've
it
got a
works.
bit of a more complex way. We haven't connected Squarespace straight to our accounting software because we use Checkfront, which is for our hotel rooms. So we've connected Squarespace to Checkfront to Stripe to Zero.
Oh,
So we've got a bit of a longer way.
Okay.
But,
But it's possible to have it like from Squarespace to Stripe and then to Zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got a bit of a more complicated way, but yes,
Okay.
we do.
Okay.
Alright, that's your question.
I was going to ask, can you have like multiple emails? Like you can have like
Yeah,
info at something, president at something, secretary at something.
yeah, of course. Yep.
So you can have as many domains as you want, as many email addresses as you want, connected to any particular domain.
They're quite easy to manage too. So.
Like for the St. Catherine's one, we have a few domains. So we've got stcatherine's.uw.edu, and that one's managed by the university. So we've sort of taken, or we sort of told them the IP addresses that they have to connect to, and then that domain owned by the university connects to Squarespace. And then we've also got another private domain that we just bought, stcatherine's.com.au, that connects to, that redirects back to stcatherine's.uw.edu. Is there questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, is there a feature or something that you can do so that people of like the public, not you as the editor, can actually upload photos? So like if I have a private event and I want to collect photos from that event,
Yep.
and like other people can upload it, not me, like is there a way to do that?
You can't really do that with forms. You can't upload media through forms on Squarespace.
But you can have different account types on the website and on the back end. So you can have your administrator
No,
log
it's
in.
for people logging in. It's just for general public logging into your website, right? And uploading
Well,
content.
Sort of, yeah,
Photos.
like private events, so not like
Yep.
mass public, but yeah, other people.
I know Dropbox, they've got this new feature where you can set a public link. So you can just sort of add that link onto your Squarespace and then encourage people to upload their pictures or their media or whatever it is that you want shared up through Dropbox, and then it just gets uploaded straight through there. So that's the workaround.
Okay.
But if you wanted one dedicated person to go up and do all the uploads, or like a few people you trusted, you can have different editor accounts. So people would only be able to add stuff on the website. They wouldn't be able to touch like all the
Yeah.
page layout and all that
Exactly,
stuff.
yeah. Cool. Thanks.
You said it took like 2 months to make the St. Cat's website. How long did it take you for everything to become kind of intuitive when you're working through the website? It looks a lot more intuitive than WordPress, but obviously it takes a while to learn it, so it's kind of how long it took.
The reason why we took 2 months is because we had to wait on professional photography to get taken, and because we were really specific on the content we wanted on there. But the actual setup of the pages and what pages we wanted and all the layout, that's quite quick. You get used to it pretty quickly. Within 24 hours, if you play around with it enough, you you get used to it. It's just drag and drop and click and edit. It's as simple as that.
I do have one more thing that I want to tell you guys about. So when you're building a website, obviously you need like images or icons and graphics and things like that. So this website really helped us a lot. It's called makerbook.com. So it's basically a directory of some of the best free resources for creatives online. So if you need high resolution stock images for free, they've got a ton of those sites, and you can go ahead and just check that out. And you can do like color palettes and fonts and things like that. So all sorts of things. And they're mostly free as well. Any more questions?
Two questions. What sort of support do Squarespace give you if you have any issues or you don't know how to like roll out something?
They do have 24/7 support, and they're really, really on top of it. So
We've emailed them before. We've got a contact with them before. They're pretty quick.
Okay. And they're like in Australia or?
Is it not in
no,
Australia?
they're based in the US, but they've got customers from all over the world.
Okay. And how much has Squarespace changed you guys to like use it?
Nothing. I wish they were paying us.
Get in contact.
Any more questions?
How much did you shop? Like, did you look around at the other platforms available before deciding on Squarespace, or not really? You just kind of someone told you about it and you jumped in.
No, you sort of decided.
Yeah, well, no, we had experience with WordPress before, but we felt that Squarespace was easy enough for. I think the whole point of the problem that we had initially that we talked about making the website in-house, so that we didn't have to go through an external agency to get something changed, and they'll charge us like $200 just to change a picture. And it's like, at the end of the year with BD, St. Catherine's, and someone else comes over, it's easy for them to take over as well, easy for them to sort of learn the ropes and update the website from there. And a few of the staff members already know how to use Squarespace, and they sort of, just logged in and they've done it themselves.
Yeah, we'll have a look at pages sometimes and something has changed and the staff is just doing it. So
Yeah,
which is
so
good.
it's really
From a sort of logistical perspective, how do you just have the sort of login details posted in Office or?
Everyone has their own account
yeah. So you can
Okay,
have
so you can
multiple
log in.
accounts, yeah, that log into the same page.
and they've all got different roles, so some can only edit, some can, it's all different. So
Any more questions? Before we end, just want to highlight that we have a feedback form. So if you go onto blue.org.au/feedback, or we've got cards there as well.
passing around physical cards as well.
Either or, both works.
Yeah.
And also like us